right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the campus of SUNY Potsdam. We're here at the Proscenium Theater, and we're about to premiere the Bodacious Bears, which has been a project that's been going on for about 2 years now to document the 1980s Jerry Welch coach Potsdam State Bears. I'm Joey Riehm. This is Dave Bartlett. 2/3 of the Wise Guys. Our buddy Pete is already down in Florida for the winter, but it's just an honor for us to be here to be able to, for the next hour, talk to a lot of familiar faces, to some people that made this project happen. So for the next hour, bear with us. Dave and I are certainly just a couple of hacks trying to talk into a microphone, but I'll tell you, you're probably going to get some Joe fan out of us, because we were big followers of those Jerry Welch coach Bears. So we want to get things started with how this whole project came about. If Tim Dempsey could step on in, right in between us, Tim. Tim is the reason that this whole thing came about. So how did you, number one, come up with this idea? Number two, your connection with Francesco.
Thank you. I actually grew up across the street and watched Potsdam Bears all through high school, and was very engaged with the team, went to almost every game, and was watching the Last Dance with Michael Jordan during COVID or whatever it was, and thought, God, why couldn't this be done with technology and so forth for the Potsdam Bears? And as I did more research, I couldn't believe, I knew they were successful, but they were sort of off the charts in terms of the winning percentages and so forth. And then a good friend of mine, Randy Saminsky's at Canton College. He's another basketball junkie. And I said, I'd like to do this. Do you know anyone that could be helpful? And introduced me to Francesco, and young guy, and it was funny, after I talked to him now, he thought, I don't know, he kind of admitted he was like, what did I get myself into? But 5-star, the guy's got some serious skills. I helped fund some costs, came up with the name, and I think I included the Bill and Ted clip, and I did a few interviews, but other than that, it was 99.9% his work, and it's amazing. I haven't seen it, and in fact, last night I asked him how it ended, and he said, I'm not telling you anything. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. So I'm going to be a surprise to everyone else. And Bill Mitchell's been unbelievable. Initially when we approached people, they were sort of skeptical of it, but what would this look like? And I remember talking to Coach Welch. I said, if this isn't done 5-star, we're not doing it, because to keep it professional and so forth. I had a vision of my phone doing selfies and interviewing people. It wasn't going to be that. It was going to be done very professionally, and Francesco has just made it, gave it a lot of credibility, and done a nice job. And just seeing all the players and who I certainly looked up to last night, sharing stories and laughing with them, and really decent, nice human beings. Sometimes it's not the best thing to meet some of your role models, but I was not disappointed. They're wonderful guys. So,
Well, Dave?
Is there anything, I know you said you haven't seen the film. Is there anything that you know of during production that you're really particularly interested in seeing today or hearing today? Or I know, like you said last night, meeting all of these guys that have come into town for this was just phenomenal, but is there anything else that you can think of that you're really looking forward to?
I did see a few clips, and might need some Kleenex.
Okay.
It's there's some really good stories and about some good people, and particularly about the coach and what he did for people. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, Tim, we can't thank you enough for having just the foresight to do something like this and get this project to fruition today. And so it's got to be a really good feeling for you, and it's going to be a really great feeling for everybody that's in that theater today.
Well, terrific, and thank you. And it just turned out, to have an idea and actually come to fruition is surreal. So thank you both.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Deb.
And so as we wait for our next guest to appear, but Dave and I Sure, please. As we wait for, I guess we're going to get Francesco next, but Dave and I had the pleasure last night of hanging out at Max Fields with a lot of the former players. Coach Welch was there, and Dave, I know you and I had a great time. Try to give the people a little idea of what you and I were just kind of in awe, wouldn't you say?
Well, a lot of it was this. It was like, I know that guy. I know that guy. I know that guy. I remember watching this guy. It was a lot of that, and then a lot of not only former players, but just North Country basketball legends. Coaches from here and from all around the North Country, and just people that we've always looked up to. And then again, all these former players that come in, and half of them look like they could step right back on the court and play. And one of them in particular we know does. So it was a great time. It was really a great time. I wouldn't have missed it for anything.
Well, I mean, Dave and I, we've had the pleasure, if you've ever seen our show, The Wise Guys, we were able to host the Stanley Cup, and for Dave and I, this is a pretty close to that, to be able to, because the 1980 Bears meant so much to us. So the crowd is starting to mingle in now as the show's going to get going at 1:30. You're going to be able to, if you're on our Wise Guys Facebook page, Empire State Sports, you should be able to get the link for the movie at 1:30 and be able to watch it from the comfort of your own home at the same time that we're watching it here in the theater. So
hopefully they've already got the link. Otherwise they're not going to know that there's a link.
Pretty sure I shared it last night in the middle of drinks, but so I think we'll be able to find it, and we'll get things going. Some of the people that we'll mention some names. Some of the people that we have seen, Dave and I, in the last 2 days, last 24 hours. Obviously, Coach Welch is in town. His son Timmy came in last night. Timmy is the narrator for this project. Player-wise, we saw Steve Babiars. We saw Pony Bullock. We saw the Spoon, Leroy Witherspoon. We've seen Brendan Mitchell, Derek Rowland, Pony Bullock, Mo Woods. Just everybody you can think of is there.
Because we're gonna forget some names and we're gonna leave them out. But there was so many that from. I'll share a story since we're waiting for Francesco. Back in the early 80s, when the Bears were making their first championship run, I came to all the games that were in Potsdam, and I followed them very closely. And I remember Derek Rowland was my favorite player because he was the center. And in high school, I played center, so he was my favorite player, and I always remember him. Now, this is my junior year in high school. I was 6'2", 6'3", and to me, Derek Rowland was this giant. He's like 7 foot tall. Now, in preparation for this, I'm Googling some of these names of former players so that I can see if there's a current picture of them so I can recognize them. And I come up on Derek Rowland. I'm like, okay, he's a former, played basketball, 6'5", 190 pounds. I'm like, it was 6'5". Like, no, must be a different guy. But that brings back memories of the announcers saying how oversized or undersized the Bears were, how their opponents were always so much bigger than them. But you would never know by watching them play. I mean, between Derek Rowland and Mo Woods, tearing rebounds off the boards left and right, they played much bigger than they were. And then when I saw him in person yesterday and I stood up, I'm like, yeah, we're the same height.
Well, and if you remember, Derek went on and was in the New York Knicks system for a while, and he was playing like small forward for them, but he was a center.
Or shooting guard, even shooting guard for a while.
So, and again, as we're waiting for a few guests to start getting down to near us, also on YouTube right now is that championship from the 81 season. The game is on YouTube, and if you watch that game, they were outsized, but yet just watch Derek Rowland and Mo Woods just wipe the glass with every shot. So, all right, well, here comes the hero here right now, the man of the hour. Come on in here, Francesco. So everybody, this is Francesco Palumbo, not Francisco, Francesco Palumbo. How does this feel for you? You've been on the Wise Guys a couple of times, so we're going to assume that everybody already knows we've talked to you, and we're not. But now everything that we've talked about has come to fruition, and just what's the feeling, buddy?
Again, just the best part about it is seeing everyone together, and that's really what this whole purpose has been to be, to make this community aspect just relived. And I was never there at the 80s, obviously, but I can definitely feel that spirit and that community. It's just really special to see everyone here.
Well, I got to tell you, spending the last 24 hours with you, I've enjoyed watching you from afar, because it's been I've been able to count teeth. You've been smiling for 24 hours, and you should be proud, and I know you are, but you should be proud of what you've accomplished to be able to make all of this happen. I know you had help, but I mean, without you, this isn't coming to fruition. To be able to get the amount of people that are legends around here back together again for the day that we had yesterday and now today. It's been a joy to be able to watch you and we can't thank you enough for including us on this.
And again, it goes back to just everyone that's involved. It's the same mentality, and that really helps me to make this process a lot easier. Obviously, the editing was mostly on me, but the people all are super supportive and willing to help any way they can, and that's really what it's all about.
I got nothing else.
I appreciate you guys being here.
Sincerely, honestly, it's just like I said. It's just been a pleasure to watch you for the last 24 hours, and looking forward to watching this film and the reaction it's going to get.
Yeah, are we going to need Kleenex?
I think I'm going to. I think most people will.
Well, great. Hey, again, Francesco, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you guys.
You bet. Thank you. Maybe we can get Coach Bechtel. Come on in here. You walked right into an interview. Hi, everybody. This is the present coach of SUNY Potsdam basketball, Coach Jim Bechtel. Coach, what do you think about this whole weekend so far?
Just tremendous, honestly, just tremendous. To have all the alumni back, have Coach Welsh back, just for us as a program and for our guys to see how much this actually meant to the community and to the program and to the school. It's an amazing event, and I'm so thankful for Francesco and Tim Dempsey and Bill Mitchell they did all the work, and to have this event going on in this beautiful facility, and just excited to see it,
Well, and Dave and I, we had a little privilege. We caught a little conversation that Brennan Mitchell had with your guys yesterday, and I mean, they listened. Don't know what the conversation was about, but I guarantee you that they got something out of it.
Oh, absolutely. It's important for them to hear, what this meant to those guys and how those guys accomplished what they accomplished. You talk about it, and those banners mean something, and I think this kind of brought it to life for our guys, what all those things that are hanging in the gym and the trophies, it still means something to those guys especially, but just to the program and to the university itself, it's just something that I don't think you really grasp it until you get the opportunity to see those guys and talk to those guys and just see what the Potsdam experience had on their lives and how much it affected their lives and impacted their lives in a positive way. So I was really thankful that they spoke to them, and I told them to keep grabbing them and keep telling them about what it takes, to be at that level, because I don't think you truly understand it until you hear guys that have done it, and they did it a lot, more than once.
Well, Coach, I'm sure you're ready to get in there and see this.
Yeah.
Here, Dave's got a question for you.
No, I was going to say that was one of the things I noticed yesterday. It was really cool to watch your inter-squad scrimmage, but to see all your current players. They're here now, and they're involved in this weekend, and it's a great thing. And I don't think any of them are unhappy that they're here.
Absolutely.
They're willing. They're jumping right in. They're working as ushers. ushers. They're helping seat people when they come in. They're a part of this weekend, and as they should be.
Right.
And I think it's great.
No, it really was. You know, we kind of planned the inter-squad scrimmage around the event yesterday, and having the alumni be able to kind of see our guys play and, you know, see some of the fruits of their labor, like our locker room and things like that were donated because of the alumni, you know. And so the things that we're able to provide our guys, a lot of that comes from the alumni giving back to us. So to have them be part of it and kind of give back to the alumni for this weekend, it was a no-brainer. Honestly, Dave, it was something that we were all in on, and again, it's just an experience for them to see all of this, you know, and see how much it means and how many people have come back from, you know, Scott Colors from Phoenix, right? You know, so it's just crazy to have, you know, these people want to come back to Potsdam, and so we were glad to be a part of it, and they're doing a great job, and again, I hope they're taking it all in, and hopefully, like I said, this is going to be a springboard for us to kind of get to that next level and get back to where the alumni expect us to be, especially. So,
Well, prominence.
Watching that scrimmage yesterday, I think he got the point guard for the next few years at Union. We really enjoyed watching Mishan play.
Yeah.
So, well, Coach, we know we got to talk to a few more people, and you want to get in there. But thank you so much. Thanks for including us.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. Enjoy the night.
Thanks. All right, so that's Coach Jim Bechtel. I'm scanning the crowd right now, see who I might be able to holler and get down here. But that was something that Dave and I watched the scrimmage yesterday, and even though it was just an inter-squad scrimmage, it was fun to watch. Came down to the wire. They ran some last second sets to work on some things, and
Inter-squad scrimmage, but they were all playing to win.
yeah, and that was one. Yeah, that was the one thing you and I took out of them. I'm like, look at these guys. They're arguing with each other because they want to win the inter-squad scrimmage. So that's always a good sign when you know you got kids that want to compete. So
I'm sure there was a little added pressure with the alumni sitting up in the stands. Yeah, they were sitting right next to us, so I'm sure there was a little added pressure on the current players to perform well. You know.
Yeah. Well, and this present Potsdam State Bear team's got a few local North Country products on it. We mentioned Mishan from OFA. They have Colton Eustace from Ticonderoga. So they have a few players that from the North Country participating. So as we wait for our next guest, we get people now really just starting to gather in here. It's just a who's who of North Country basketball. There's a player right here. Maybe we can get Eddie over here to talk a little bit. Sure. Come on in.
Marty Urginski.
Oh, Marty. Okay, sorry. How you doing? So, Marty, tell us, you've been around from yesterday and today. Some of the things that you've noticed, some of the things that have been going on that you're taking in.
So the biggest thing is just reliving some memories, you know, with some of the coaches and the teammates, and being over at Maxey Hall and watching the inter-squad scrimmage. It's been just a great time. We had some great memories here, and this is a great college campus, and yeah, it's just been wonderful sharing some stories.
Now, are some of these players, these former teammates, has it been a long time since you've seen some of them?
Yeah, it's been a real long time, like over 10 years, seeing a lot of them. But you know what? We get together and we're just like brothers. You know, we're family here, and we always talk about it. But you know, after you've been away from a long time, and then you come back and you just, again, we're sharing stories and we're talking about our families and everything, and it's just a lot of fun. It's great to be back. This is going to be a wonderful experience. This movie coming up.
Wow. Yeah, I think everybody in here is looking forward to this, and so it's so great. And thank you for taking a couple of minutes to come over and talk to us, and we hope you enjoy the movie.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to give a shout out to Jerry Welsh. You know, like that's what this is all about. I mean, he built this whole thing and the culture, and it's just great. And I wish him well. And you know, we all just love the guy. So thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you. Take care. So, I'm losing track of things already here.
Right.
How much? All right, we still got 40 minutes here before we get started. So we'll keep bringing people in, and Dave and I need to preface we didn't get a chance to meet everybody last night, so I already just screwed up on that name. Sorry to Marty about that, but you know, when you haven't seen somebody in 30 years, it's hard to remember. So
we just commented on that. You know, they've got pictures from the old days, you know, and I'm like, that doesn't look like him at all.
on in. Come on in, Rich.
Listen, you got guys here. Mike Dean's in there.
Is he?
Just sent him the note.
All right, have him come down.
He's not here today, but maybe we can get him on this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he could-
Yeah. Well, come on in. You can talk with us for a couple minutes. Watch your step.
Yeah, you kidding me?
So, everybody, this is Rich Johns. And, Rich, what do you think about what's going on this weekend?
It's fantastic. I don't even know how to put it into words.
Right.
And as it's come together, it's even more exciting. You know, you've known Coach. We've all known him. And this is the one time we all get to celebrate him. Wouldn't it be nice to everybody have a celebration of their life while they're here, too? And this is just the place he wants to be. Potsdam's it.
Well, and it's such a, when I first saw him yesterday, I haven't seen him in probably 10 years, whenever the last time he came home. So, to be able to see him again, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, he's obviously he's a special guy. We all know Kathy is a special lady. A coach's wife is special, and but even yesterday, seeing him and seeing the players, and then the players embracing Kathy. And even as the players, I said to my wife last night, they embraced Coach so carefully. It was like a cradle. It wasn't one of these, it was like, get here, would you? And, it's just so great to see him here, and this is a memorable moment. This is Potsdam history. We've been lucky. You've been lucky to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in 72 when I got here. Well, I got here in 69, fall of 69. That's when Mike Dean came on campus. Of course, Dave May and all the that was a great team, and Ted Bentz, our buddy. And from there, Coach just said, we could be the best. Nobody ever thought that way, did they?
Probably not.
Yeah.
How would that thought process work in Potsdam, New York, of all places, a Division III school? We can be the best in the country. How do you get there?
Yeah, it's he's the roadmap for it now, isn't he? He worked so hard. He became the first coach that ever really invented recruiting. He traveled the whole state, as we all know. And I remember I had a great player that he wanted, and this player ended up being an All-American in Springfield. But anyhow, I brought Buddy up here and all that. One day he calls me, he says, hey, look, I'm in town. Can you bring Buddy? We'll have lunch at the Firehouse. This is Saratoga. And he said, yeah, I just stopped and saw his mother. I said, wait a second, you met his mother? I hadn't even met Buddy's mother. And I had Coach Buddy. Mm-hmm. Well, she worked in over in Fort Edward, a small little community, and that's where she labored all day long. And this is Coach. He met every parent, met everybody that would support him, and that's really such a great recruiting process. And then we became also people that would go after kids and say, look, would you take a look at Potsdam? They had to be good. Once he turned that corner, you couldn't just say anybody, right? But it's good stuff.
Well, Rich, we thank you for taking a few minutes to talk with us. It's been such a great weekend, and
Good luck with everything.
thank you so much.
Enjoy this.
Absolutely, enjoy it. Thank you. So we've got Steve Yabiars over here to the right. Hopefully we can get a little quick talk with him. I can see Matt Dyroff. I've yet to see Coach Welch. Have you seen Coach Welch yet? No.
Yet.
So
I did see Bill was here just a minute ago, but I don't see him now.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching at home, I'm sure you are expecting and planning on us to speak with Coach Welch, but we can't say for certain that that's going to happen. It's our plan, but he's a busy man today, and we totally understand why. So if we can get him, we will, and if not, we'll keep coming along with what we can find as this process moves forward. So we're about a half hour away from the premiere of the Bodacious Bears. Mo Woods just walked in. Leroy Witherspoon just walked in. So yeah, we're trying to get some of them over here. Beeve just walked in. Brian Nortz, Mike Brown. Yeah, I've met Steve. I'll get him over here. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Rich. So. There. All right.
What's going on, man?
The Spoon.
How you doing?
Leroy Witherspoon. Come on in here. Come on in here.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, here we are. We're talking to one of, okay, so number one, we're not broadcasters. We're fans. And we were around in those days to be able to watch Leroy Witherspoon. Spoons getting tossed on the floor.
I never threw a spoon on the floor. Okay, maybe a few.
Well, you wasn't no fan, man, if you did, man. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I did.
How do you feel about this whole weekend, Leroy? You must be having a ball.
Oh, man, man, you know what? I haven't been up here in about a good 20 years. It's like we just started. You know what I mean? I love it. I love the people up here. I love the fans. You know, it's been real. And if we had to do it, I'd do it again, man. It's crazy. You know, when you got people up here that really loves you, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't trade in for nothing in the world, man.
Well, you got to love a guy that shows up yesterday with his own T-shirt on. I remember the Spoon T-shirts. You know, we all had a Leroy Witherspoon T-shirt.
No, well, you know, come on. I can't say nothing about that one, but it was nice. It was nice seeing him.
He gets a royalty off of it, so he had to buy it.
Not yet, man. I wish they would give me the royalty.
Okay. Yeah, you would get it now.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, Leroy, we got others we got to talk to, but thank you so much for stopping by.
Make sure you get Scotty, Franco, and Mo.
Okay, we will. Thank you. Thank you, Leroy.
See you, man.
you.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys tonight, too.
Okay, yes.
Scotty. Hey, how we doing? All right. Scott Fuller.
Dave Bartlett.
Hey, Scott.
Hi.
Joey Riom.
Good to see you.
Give us a little, we've seen you all weekend. We haven't met you yet, but we've seen you all weekend. But just give us a little synopsis on how you have everything you've taken in so far.
Oh, no, I think this is great. It's a great weekend. When I got the info from Bill Mitchell about coming back and seeing, it's just an opportunity to get back and see the guys. I mean, these are my brothers, and Coach Welsh is, I've mentioned it numerous times. He's like a second father to me, and he was always there if I needed help in any way on the basketball court, or probably more importantly off the court. So, this is awesome, just being here and seeing these guys. So, I don't know. It's just good stuff.
Well, and we can tell. I mean, Dave and I, that's all we've seen is smiles for the last 24 hours. There's nobody having a bad time here. So,
if you're having a bad time, if you're having a bad time, you shouldn't be here, right? Time to go home. But, it's awesome. See guys like Scott Franco, who was a senior when I was a freshman, and I looked up to him, and just, catching up on lives. So, we've been away from each other for a long, long time, and a lot's changed in our lives over the years, but you come back and it feels like nothing's changed, except maybe our bodies a little bit, but and hairdos, but it's just awesome. Yeah.
Hey, we thank you for taking a couple of minutes to speak with us. Enjoy the show. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So again, all the players are really starting to funnel in now. We're getting closer to tip-off, to use a basketball term, when it comes to the premiere of the Bodacious Bears. I would assume by now, if you're watching this, you've seen the trailer. And if the trailer is any indication, this is really going to be something else. I know Dave and I have probably watched that trailer 10 times, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, at least.
Okay. Yeah, there's Bill Mitchell. I'd love to get Bill Mitchell over here, but he's running the show. We'll see if he can take a minute or two to come over and talk with us. But, I mean, he has really stepped up, and he took care of a lot of the other things, I guess would be to say. He took care of the tickets and all that stuff. Oh, boy, here we go. Come on, Beav, let's go. Come on in here. We might be able to squeeze two in here. We'll figure it out. We'll make sure you're on screen. Matt Dyroff and Brian Nortz. Hey, guys, well, Matt, you weren't here yesterday.
I was not.
Just coming in?
I had parents' weekend at my son's school over in Bryant, so I woke up this morning after a long night of partying and drove 6 hours to get here.
Well, you partied anyway, so like we did, so good. Of course. Baby, did you finish up the night okay?
I was fine last night. Bobby Kuba, he might be another choice of words for him, but I did well. I behaved myself.
Okay, well.
Had a good breakfast this morning?
I had great company at breakfast, too. I know you upscaled us a little bit, but we just stayed at the Hampton.
Yeah. I had a beautiful downtown Airbnb. It was gorgeous. Well, Guys, are you prepared for this? I mean, are you emotional guys? Are you expecting some Kleenex moments out in there?
I think it's going to depend on how Coach reacts. I think that, personally, I'll have goosebumps through the whole thing, but if I look at him and he starts breaking down, then that could be a problem.
Definitely. I think we had that moment years ago when Coach left to go to Iona, and we were in that press conference, and just seeing him getting choked up. And he did bring it to light when he said about his uncle. He said, "No, I don't own the college. It's Iona College." But it's always great seeing the guys. A bunch of us still get together during the summers, to play golf. But just to see Coach, that's really the main reason why I said I'm getting up at 5 o'clock this morning to drive here, is to see Coach. So,
well, I think we're all getting ready and getting a little antsy, looking forward to this. I mean, it's been a long time coming. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm glad that you guys came up. Like Dave and I have said, we've seen nothing but smiles for the last 24 hours. It's so cool for us to see you guys and be so happy being together. So we thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Just a small part of a big old picture.
Okay. Thanks, Matt Dyrop. Thanks, Brian Nortz. We appreciate it. A couple of good guys right there. Brian's been on our show, and I've gotten close with Brian. He's a really good guy. He's gone to the Ryder Cup. He was at the Ryder Cup. I worked, and so we've got some connections. Good high school coach, and yeah, we're trying to get some more. I think this is Mike Brown, who's in unbelievable shape. If we get him on, he's going to really make Dave and I look bad. But Timmy Welch is here now, Jerry's son Timmy, who's the narrator of the Bodacious Bears. We didn't get a chance to chat with him last night, but we did see him walk into Maxfield's late. He was a little late driving, but
he flew into Messina late and was picked up and brought straight to Maxfield's. But yeah, it was late.
So we'll see if we can get a quick talk with him. Here comes Mike Brown. Come on in, Mike. Step right in the middle. Thank you. All right, so did you really ride your bike all the way?
No, that's kind of like my new little hobby I picked up. The legs don't work the way they used to, so I don't play as much basketball. So that's my second career in sports activity, if you will.
Yep. But I saw you out riding in the rain this morning.
Oh, you saw me. True story. Now, my teammate, Jim Lamoureux, old number 43, took over Barry's number after he graduated. I kind of encouraged him to be a bike rider, and so he's kind of run with it, and he's a guy who goes rain and shine. And so we went yesterday. He insisted on going this morning, and I just joined him, and I'm glad I did. I hated it when we were out there, but I'm glad we did.
Well, Mike, what are you, are you prepared for what we're about to see? What's going through your mind? I'm sure you saw the trailer, but, there's got to be a lot of emotions as you get ready to watch this.
One of the things that I said last night to a lot of guys I was talking to, we were having drinks and kind of sitting around eating, what he meant to us as individuals. He had such significant contributions to us as individuals in terms of what we became in our careers, how we played the game, how we saw the game, how we coached others that came on our path. One of the reasons why I had such a long career playing the game, even beyond my college days, had 100% to do with what he instilled with me as a young player, learning to play the game. You hear Larry Brown say, play the game the right way. And I can't thank him enough for that. And also, I think the game of basketball, not to be long-winded, but I'll just say this, there are a lot of transferable skills that you develop along the way. Oh, yeah. Teamwork, overcoming adversity, sometimes working with folks you don't always get along with, but because you share a common goal, being able to stay focused and getting there. And I try to incorporate that with my sons, who I brought along, in my family, and also my coaching, and also as a basketball official, which I do also now. So it's helped me immeasurably.
Well, Mike, we can't thank you enough for taking a few minutes to talk to us, and I know everybody's starting to get a little excited now as we get closer to the start of the film. So thank you so much for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And again, they are just lining up now. Coach K-Mac and Derek Rowland are now in the house. Coach Tom Miller is now in the house. Again, a lot of these guys have been on our show. Coach Myrna is in the house. So Just
step out of camera for a minute. I'm going to see if I can grab some of these.
Oh, great idea. Okay, so Dave's going to go do some, see if he can get a few people to come on with us. And again, we'll try to cram in as many as we can in the next. We got about 26 minutes, so we'll see how many on here. Look at this guy, 32-year-old Steve Babiars. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it. Hey, it's great to see you, man. And what's this mean to you? I mean, I'm just going to keep it short and go. What does this mean to you guys? I mean, we've seen nothing but joy for the last 24 hours. You guys are so happy about this whole thing, and now it's come to fruition with the film. What's this all mean to you?
Wow, just it's amazing seeing Coach Welch. Here he is coming on right now. The Brendan Mitchells, the Pony Bullocks, Troy Turners, John Leonards. It's just like it's surreal, very surreal feeling, and I'm glad Francesco what he did for this. It's simply amazing. One person brought everybody back together. So I can't thank him enough. And obviously my main man here, Coach Welch, is he's the best. So.
Well, and we know that. It's something we've interviewed you before on our show, and it was something I always took away from it is we know how much you love that guy, and that isn't that the life of that's what coaching is all about, and you can tell he impacts your life still to this day.
Yep, like I tell everybody, he's coaching secondary for him. Being a father figure and loving his student athletes was first and foremost, and obviously you see here today, everybody's here to recognize him and show him how great he really is, and he's a legend.
Well, we're going to bring him on now. So, Steve, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
And just to our right here is Coach Welch, and we'll have a quick talk with Jerry.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly not going to pull him away. He's in a nice conversation with Steve right now, and those are more meaningful moments than what we're going to be able to offer. But when we get the chance, and here he comes. Come on in here, Coach. Can you get between us?
Yeah.
Careful, don't trip on that.
Good to see you.
All right, Coach Jerry Welch. This number one, it's so great to see you. And I know you've spoken a lot already this weekend, but what does this all mean to you, really, with what we're about to watch?
Well, it means so much because there's so many people involved that I've worked with and care for and love and so forth. This isn't for me. It's for the players that played when I was coaching, and we wouldn't have been successful without the work that they did. So I don't want this to be called Jerry Welch Weekend. I want it to be called Potsdam Bears Weekend. And that's what I really feel.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to say anything else. That's awesome. Dave, you got anything for Coach?
No, it's great to see you and to be able to talk with you and then see all this whole thing this whole weekend. It's just
it has been nice. It's been wonderful. I'm so appreciative and thankful that they do this, because it brought everybody back together that worked together for so many years, players, fans, coaches, and everything. So it seems great to see the people again, broadcasters and everybody, and friends like you, Joey.
Well, Coach, we know you're getting stretched in a lot of different directions today. We thank you for just taking a couple minutes to talk to you, and we can't tell you how much you mean to us, all right? So, and we really mean that. So thank you, Jerry. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I don't know how you top that one, but we'll try. But I mean, that was awesome to be able to talk to Jerry.
All right, let me step away again, see if I can grab somebody else.
Okay. I see Hal Cohen. I see Ronnie Gotham, longtime Colton Pierpont coach. Just starting to see a lot of people. Mo Woods is over here to my right. Coach K-Mac. Stevie. Again, I'm sorry, folks. We don't really have a runner. Dave's gone to see what he can get for us. But again, we'll try to get on as many people as we can. We're down to 22 minutes to showtime. I'm sure people are going to be starting to close in and take their seats here pretty soon. So we probably just got a few more minutes really of interviews. But again, we'll try to get as many as we can. Again, it's just a great scene here right now. Looking at just all the smiling faces. The sun now is coming into the theater. It's cleared up outside, so just a really, really cool moment. So Dave has got Derek rolling by the looks of it. So we're going to get Derek over here. Oh, and I see the legend coach Jerry Mahoney is in the house as well. So I take it you got Derek Rowland coming?
Yeah, but it's like all these guys are getting pulled in 20 different directions. As soon as I got him and he was headed my way, somebody stepped in between us and said, "Oh, Derek, could you?" So hopefully he'll come over.
Yeah. Well, right now it's just a who's who of North Country basketball, North Country personalities here to see this, see the Bodacious Bears. I can see Hal Cohen just off in the background. Again, we're hoping that we can get a few more. But again, people, you need to understand we're not going to try to drag these people into something. They're just so happy to be talking to everybody. So. Oh, here he comes. Hal Cohen.
In case you don't remember.
Yeah, we remember. Come on in here. Step in between. You want to come in too, Britt?
Sure. Oh, you got Britt in?
Are we live? We'll do the Cohen. We are live. So, Brittany, our present women's coach here at SUNY Potsdam, and the legend, Hal Cohen, who you can see at a lot of games that Brittany coaches, right?
Yes.
Or wait, here at a lot of games.
Hear him very, very well, especially when he wants me to go zone.
I think I'm the first father that's ever been thrown out of a practice. You know what I
mean? By her?
Be like, cover your ears for a second.
And I said, I think you should do it this way. And she said, go on, get him out.
Well, I know. So Hal, this has got to be obviously really meaningful to you because your dad Stan was with Jerry for so long. Just a broad, a view of what you've seen so far in the last 24 hours.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is amazing, and I'm glad that Francesco and Tim put this all together, and it's exciting for the North Country. And I guess it takes you step back a little bit and you think, gosh, here we are. A few miles from Canada, no real big, city recruiting kind of base. And how does a team go win 2 national championships for a decade, dominates the sport, and then that's one issue. And then there's all the other coaches in the area, high school coaches, and then players that came out of here that kind of developed through this, program here at Potsdam State.
And Brittany, for you to be coaching in Jerry Welch Gymnasium, does that now you've been coaching for a while, but that had to have meant something to you and still means something to you to be able to say, hey, I'm coaching on this floor at Maxey Hall?
Yeah, definitely. And that was definitely one of the reasons why I applied for the job and took the job. Definitely because when I was a kid, I would come up here every summer with my grandpa, going to camp. And then when I was in college, I was a camp counselor at Potsdam Camp. And, now to be co-director of that and getting to practice on the court, it's great.
Well, guys, we don't want to take up too much of your time because there's so many people that I'm sure you want to talk to. But hey, we can't thank you enough for coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you. There's just people all over the place now. So
we kind of figured it was going to be like this. Once it got going, people are just going to be coming and like, hey, come here, and then everybody's being pulled in so many different directions. But this is just, like you said, I'm just standing here being a fan.
I know, I am too. And again, for the people that are watching at home, I'm hoping that we're making a little difference before you get ready ready to watch the premiere of the Bodacious Bears. I think Dave just flagged down Mo Woods. All right, so here comes Mo Woods.
Dave Bartlett.
Mo, Joey Riem, how are you?
All right, good, Joey. How has everything going
Just
there?
take the mic, take right over.
Hey, look, I'm glad to be here with all my people from Potsdam. Look, we started like great history up in here, and we got it done here, and it showed our people we can get it done. And then we got all my brothers and sisters here, and then the people from the community here. We are doing a great time, and I'm enjoying seeing all my people up in here.
Well, hey, Mo, thank you so much. And, the smile on your face just says it all. I mean, you're looking forward to this. I know you are.
Hey, you know what? I love coming back to Potsdam because it's my people. This is my hometown here, and I love them and because they show nothing but love up in here. Each and one, everybody up in here.
Well, Mo, thank you for taking a minute or two. We appreciate it.
And I appreciate everybody here, too. Thank y'all.
You bet. Thank you, Mo. Derek Rowland's getting interviewed over here to our right, so maybe we can get Derek here in a second. Coach K-Mac. Rick Offeld's now in the house, another person that we've interviewed with the Wise Guys. We're going to get Coach K-Mac on. Come on, Coach. Jump right.
Great to see you.
Jump right in the middle here.
Dave Bartlett.
So, Coach, long drive up yesterday from Rhode Island, but it's all worth it right now, isn't it?
It's great to see all the coaches. I saw you yesterday, and all my ex-players and guys that played a long time ago, and Jerry's so happy. It's maybe the last time he was able to come up here, but it's a big bash for him, and I'm really happy for him.
Well, and to be able to see the smiles on everybody's faces that what this is doing for the Potsdam State community, to see everybody back together again, this is really cool.
Oh, look at it. You got Derek Rowland, probably the best player ever to come out of here. Mo Woods, All-American. Over here you've got Steve Babiar, the all-time leading scorer. Brendan Mitchell, two-time player of the year. It's just great, to see everybody. And it was a great time last night, as you know, downtown, getting gathering and telling the old stories. We tell them over and over again, but they never get old.
No, they never get old. Well, Coach, thank you for taking a few minutes. We appreciate it. Our pleasure. Thank you, Coach.
Love this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See if I can go get it.
We're trying. Okay, we're trying to get Derek Rowland over here. Coach Howerhan is now in the building. Again, I'm just dropping names because they need to be dropped. The people that are hanging out in here today is just amazing. So, and here he comes. Here comes Derek Rowland. Hi, Derek.
Hey,
Joey Riem, how are you?
Hey, nice to meet you, man.
Hey, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. Thanks for, this is my bounce.
He actually just kind of gave me a couple rib shots and pointed over here, but it was okay, though.
He was just boxing you out, right?
I know when he meant business. That's good, yeah.
When's the last time you were up here?
I was up here. We had like an anniversary back maybe a few years ago for our championship. So, but this is part of my life every day. Potsdam, the former players. I talk to Coach Walsh at least once a week. Steve K-Mac, all the people that played a major part in what we did. It's part of my life, so it always gives me energy. So we have a close relationship.
Well, we really have noticed, Dave and I, again, I've said this probably for the whole hour, but the smiles on everybody's faces, the joy that everybody's having for this weekend.
Well, when you are the best at what you do, then this is what happens. If you're in the best marriage, you're going to be happy. If your kids are doing well, you're going to smile. And this certainly puts up there with putting a smile on everyone's face because of the greatness that was achieved. So I'm so excited about today, and this will go with me. I'll get a lot of mileage out of this personally because, when you get to be my age, you need stuff to fall back on and look back on and try to figure it out. But this is a great day.
Well, you still look like you could box him out and drop 20 on him.
He's too big for me, man. You know, if he ain't at the 3-point line, I can't do nothing with him these days.
Okay, so I want to share a personal story. I graduated from high school in '82. All right, so during the 80-81 season, I was at almost all the games.
Right.
During the national championship run, I was there. So in preparation for this weekend, I was Googling a lot of the former players to see if there's a current picture of them, so I could recognize them, because not everybody looks the same. And so I get Derek Rowland. Okay, you know, he was a former player, coach, 6'5", 190. I'm like, wait a second. Now, in my mind, when I was in high school watching you play, you were 7 foot tall.
Yeah, no.
And so I'm like, this guy, no, 6'5", and then you walked in the gym, and I just happened to stand. I'm like, yeah, we're the same height.
The same height. But I had a little jumping ability.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
A little bit. You know what I mean? You know, I had a little jumping ability, you know, athleticism, you know, but you know, everything that I did here, I worked on it. I didn't come here like that. And you know, Coach Welsh's work ethic and the stuff that he instilled in us, and you know, for me, basketball was kind of all I had. You know, it's like I got to do this, so that propelled me to go the distance, and you know, I did it. I did it. You know, so when you do something like this, I can sit at the dinner table. Like all my children played basketball in college. I have 5 children, 5 for full basketball scholarships.
Nice.
That's big time. You know, for me, when you got 5 kids, I didn't know what I was going to do for college, but you know, I found out that a jump shot goes a long way, man. So, but you know, so all this kind of led me to do the things I've done, and that's why I'm so grateful to Jerry and Kathy for their commitment. So it's a great day.
Well, Derek, we can't thank you enough. This is awesome, and be able to be with you today. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
And here's that guy right here, Coach. Can you come here for a minute, please? Just 1 minute. You know, I know, but you got to come over here.
Apparently, Coach is coming back in for a hug with Coach Rowland.
Listen, man, this is what this man has done for me, and this guy right here. You know, you know, everything that I've ever done since I left was a big reflection of him. You know, my work ethic, my humanity, my being a good father, being a good husband. You know, and this is this guy. So we love him, and this is a great day for me. And I don't want to leave. I'm telling you right now, we want to stay here for a couple of days if we could. But I just wanted to say that. Okay.
Thanks, Derek.
Yes.
All right, Derek, again, thank you so much. That was touching. It was awesome. I heard Coach Mitchell's whistle. It looks like they're starting to send people in. So we probably are kind of wrapping up here, folks. Dave and I will just talk a few more minutes. We're about 1:21. But anyway, well, Dave, I guess we're probably wrapping things up. Is that Troy Turner right there? Troy in the hat? Maybe we can get Troy, because I think he likes to talk. Maybe we can get him before he goes up. But
looks like he's the type that might want to talk.
So we'll see if we can get Troy Turner, and we'll wrap things up, and we'll get everybody in. We'll get everybody in seated. Here comes Troy. Troy's probably going to be our last guest here, folks. Troy, how you doing today?
Good.
Hey, so I know we talked a little bit last night, and again, the joy, the happiness of all you guys being back together again, and seeing Coach Welch, and now it's going to come to fruition here, watching the Bodacious Bears. What's going through your mind right now?
Oh, man, it's a lot going through my mind. I'm just excited to be here and see all my old teammates. But not only that, the 81 team, you know, those guys who kind of gave me the spirit, the motivation to come here. You know, I seen the first game I saw of Potsdam was on ESPN, and my mind was telling me to go to Potsdam, but I had a Division I scholarship to Siena. So I went to Siena for 2 years, and then wind up transferring to New Paltz. And after New Paltz, I got into a car accident, and then Coach Welch called me, and the rest was history. And I'm so proud of being here in Potsdam. The city is beautiful. I just love this area, and I'm glad to be back.
Well, it's great. We're glad that you're here, and I know everybody's starting to get a seat, so we don't want to hold you up any longer. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes and talking to us. We appreciate it.
Love you. Go Bears.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's wrap things up here, guys. We want to thank everybody that was watching. You should be able to, if you didn't catch it, the whole thing, you can catch it on YouTube on the Empire State Sports Wise Guys Network. It's also on the Potsdam State Bears basketball page, and so you can catch everybody. We've pretty much interviewed everybody today that we could, and it's time now. It's time. After 2 years, it's time now to watch this thing.
I'm nervous. I'm excited.
Hey, we want to thank the staff here at Potsdam State for helping us out. We know nothing about technology without Pete, and we're just a couple of hacks.
Yeah, we really don't know anything about interviewing either.
No, we don't. But we had a blast. I know that. Yeah. So we can't thank everybody involved with this, to include Dave and I. We can't thank you enough. Thank you, Francesco. Thank you, Bill Mitchell. Thank you, Tim Dempsey. Thanks to everybody. Let's go watch this movie.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.